life didn't transform when I crossed six figures. It shifted the very moment I saved my first $10,000. And it wasn't just about money, it was my confidence, my mindset, and my choices. Because when you hit that number, something in you rewires. You stop asking for permission and you start owning your decisions. So here's why your first $10,000 changes everything. That's the real secret. Nobody tells you. Everybody talks about their first million, the first 100,000, but it's the first $10,000 that unlock freedom, clarity, and momentum. It's the hardest to build and yet the most transformative. I spent decades believing financial freedom was this impossible mountain. Save for 40 years, retired 65, hope it's enough. But the truth, everything changes the moment you hit your first $10,000 in assets you control. Not a retirement account you can't touch. Not cash shrinking with inflation. I mean money that actually works for you. Digital products, a business, income streams that you created. The first 10K is proof. Proof that you can build wealth instead of just earning wages. Proof that the system doesn't control you. Proof that starting over at 40 isn't too late. It's the perfect time. It's true though, my life didn't shift when I crossed six figures. The real transformation really happened the moment I saved my first 10,000, because that was the turning point for me, not just in my bank account, in my mindset, my confidence, and the way I made choices. And here's what I discovered at 40, something nobody tells you. $10,000 isn't just money. It's the moment your brain rewires, when you stop waiting for permission and start stepping fully into ownership of your life. And once you cross that line, you can never go back to thinking small. And here's something symbolic about five figures. 4 digits feel fragile, fleeting, but 10K, it feels solid, like a milestone. And here's what people don't get. It's not just about the number, it's about the person you become to create it. You've shown discipline, you've taken control, and you've proven you can create money, not just chase it. And that's the most important part. And most people aren't living paycheck to paycheck because they're careless. They're there because they've never had breathing room. But when you have $10,000, emergencies become inconveniences. Well, your car breaks down, no problem, you fix it. You lose your job, you have time to think, not just scramble. That cushion moves you from fear to clarity, and clarity is priceless. The very first time I saw 10K sitting in my investment account, it felt like unlocking a new level in my life. It wasn't just a number, it was the proof of all those late nights, sacrifices, and small choices that finally compounded. And suddenly, there it was, 5 figures, 1 extra zero, and yet it felt like a whole new reality. I remember exhaling for the first time, not because I was rich, but because I finally had options. When half the population doesn't even have $500 saved, 10,000 isn't just a cushion, it's a peace of mind, it's permission to think bigger. And here's something no one talks about. 10K gives you the ability to say no. No to toxic jobs, no to clients who drained you, no to hustling for scraps. And when I hit my first 10,000, I didn't go shopping, I invested in myself. Books, mentors, courses. That was the money that gave me the runway to create my first digital product. It didn't make me rich, but it made me ready. That's what people don't realize. Money isn't just for spending, it's for buying freedom, time, choice. With $10,000, you finally stop being reactive. You stop constantly fixing, plugging holes, scrambling, and you begin planning. You begin building. This was the moment I created my first digital product. I had the mental capacity for it, the emotional peace, and the practical runway to experiment and fail without it breaking me. That's the magic of 10K. It doesn't make you rich, but it makes you ready. And here's the wild part. Once you hit $10,000, your money starts to work with you, not against you. You save faster, you feel more motivated, you make bolder choices because now you've seen what's possible. Because now the result is visible and you're no longer just paying bills, you're watching your net worth grow. You're not just existing, you're building wealth. And this is why the first 10K is the hardest, not because of the math, but because of the mental shift it requires. And once you make it, momentum kicks in and every milestone that follows becomes easier and easier. Naturally, people brag about their first $100,000 or their first million. But here's the truth, the 10K milestone is where your real transformation begins. Because it's not about the money, it's about the identity shift. You go from someone who spends what they earn to someone who builds. You become the kind of person who can take a weekend off, fund a last-minute trip, invest in a course, or say no to a client, not because you're rich, but because you're in control. And in a world that profits off your confusion, control is everything. So if you're working towards your first $10,000, don't underestimate how powerful that goal really is. That milestone, it's not the end, it's the beginning of your financial independence story. And if you want to see the exact steps I took to reach mine and how you can do it faster than you think, even if you're starting from zero in your 40s, watch this video right here, because the woman who built her first 10K is not the same woman who started the journey.